All right, joining me now is an MMA bantamweight fighter who takes on Domas Boza in the co-main event of Fusion FC 21 on September 10th. Please welcome Diego Barbosa back to the program. Diego, how's it going?
Everything is great, man. Thank you for having me once again.
Yes, of course. Always a pleasure to chat with you. We last time we spoke, that was in May, just a couple months after your amazing pro debut, the 12-second finish. What have you been able to get up to since we last spoke? Simply just training, anything in particular?
Yeah. This time I've put on I've worked a lot on my footwork, on my head movement, and on my power. So I've been working on these three things, and obviously my wrestling, which was something I was lacking. So right now what I have put on my game is all these things now.
How did you decide to work on those three things specifically for this camp? Did you simply just look at your previous fights, look at your overall game, and say, "This is where I'm lacking. I need to improve my footwork, my power, etc." Is that basically how you came to that conclusion?
Yes, on my fight, the John Spencer fight. Although I won in 12 seconds, I saw that I did a mistake. I got in too close to throw a hook, and he was shorter than me, and he should have not caught me with a left hook. Although I didn't feel it, or I don't know if he caught me in the face or if he caught me in my shoulder. All I know is that I shouldn't have been caught with that. So since then, I knew that I had to work on my range as well, and put more straight punches instead of hooks, like you've seen on my fight at Rise of Champions. I don't know if you saw it, but there was this time I had this guy against the cage, and I was just throwing hooks. And I've seen many fighters get knocked out when they get too carried away with throwing hooks against someone that seems hurt and it's not. So I started working on my range and my straight punches, footwork, head movement, all of that stuff.
Do you think we'll be able to see these changes? Do you think they'll be evident in your upcoming fight?
Definitely, 100%. This guy is tough, and I'm not fighting him at my weight classes. I was gonna fight Camilo Petkov, but unfortunately, 3 weeks before the fight, he had a motorcycle accident, making my opponent to change to Thomas Boza. Obviously, in 3 weeks, it's a very short time for someone to make 61. So we agreed on fighting a lightweight, which is the way I walk around at. So he's a tough guy. I've seen pictures of him. I've seen K1 fights of him, and he looks good. He looks tough. He looks like he can stand there and trade with me. And that got me excited because I'm a brawler. I like brawling. So I guess I'll have the chance to brawl and show what I can do in this fight. So I'm excited.
Did you say this fight is at 155?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were initially planning to drop down to bantamweight, so I guess you don't really have to cut any weight.
No. Like, I'm eating healthy. I'm eating whatever I want. Today I had a barbecue, so yeah, I'm eating quite a lot. And after barbecue, I had some ice cream, so yeah.
Do you like being able to walk around and not starve yourself, basically, and not have to eat the best foods you can? Being able to eat a few of these things, like you mentioned, barbecue, ice cream, etc.
It's different when I have to cut the weight. I feel like, obviously, I feel like I deserve the win. But when you suffer more, you feel like you deserve it even more. So I've had to find other ways to not motivate me, but make sure that I deserve this just as much as if I was going down to bantamweight. So eating what I like, it's good, but it's also dangerous because some of the food that I can be eating can be messing up my cardio. So I still keep away from those. But yeah, overall, I'm loving it. But obviously, I don't wanna be doing this a lot. I wanna cut down to bantamweight and stay there.
Yeah. So your next fight will be at bantamweight.
Yeah, you will be 100%, unless something like that happens again.
Right.
Yeah.
Cutting down to bantamweight. Just talk about how you anticipate the cut down to bantamweight going. Will you have to get rid of a bit of muscle? Do you plan on hiring some sort of nutritionist? Just talk about that cut down to bantamweight, which will happen in your next fight.
I have a guy my gym. He's my mentor. He's my nutritionist. He's my strength and conditioning coach. So I have him by my side at any point whenever I I just call him and he tells me what to do. His name is Aaron Smackwell Blackwell. He's fighting for the Lonsdale title against Alan Philpott. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yep.
And so every question I have, I ask him. And on my Rise of Champion fight, I cut it down to 6. I was meant to be at 66. And just following what he told me to do, I was able to cut down to 63 without any dehydration or any form of dehydration. I didn't have to do anything like that. All I did was water load, and that was it. On the day, I was at 63. I didn't know I was going to cut down so low, but I guess I'm easy to cut down to. It was pretty easy to cut down 63. I didn't starve myself too much. I didn't did any major sacrifices. I just did the diet he told me to, and did the water loading, and did the training he told me to, and that was it. So I guess cutting down to 61, and when I was 63, I was still pretty fresh. I wasn't thirsty or anything. I was going to the toilet as normal. So cutting down 61, it's not hard. I have a dream fight at flyweight. One day I'll try to make flyweight, and then I'll start thinking of hiring a nutritionist or taking it a bit more serious. But right now I'm cool. I've got the right team to do it.
You're only 22 years old, and it seems like the older you get, the harder it is to cut weight. Do you ever get a feeling that you may end up having to fight most of your career at featherweight? Now, I know you're already thinking about bantamweight and flyweight, but do you think the older you get, you may have to go back up to featherweight, and that'll be where a lot of your career takes place? Do you think that'll happen?
It can happen. It can happen. I can't ignore the possibilities, because when I started, when I started cutting weight, let's say, I used to walk around at 70. Right now, if I'm not really on fight camp, I walk around at 74, 75. So I put on weight, I put on body mass, and so as the training gets harder, as the competition gets tougher, I guess I will be doing, let's say, more weights and more different training things. So we never know. I might put on more weight, or I might get used to walking around at lighter weight. We never know.
So
better weight will be a possibility.
Okay, so if you so when you do cut down to bantamweight after this fight, so you'll be cutting approximately 40 pounds, correct?
Yeah, it's a big cut.
Yeah, but you say you do cut weight fairly easily. So I imagine the cut shouldn't be an issue.
No, it wouldn't be an issue. Because when I found out I was fighting at lightweight, I was at 68. So 68 coming down 67. I was waking up at 67.5, going to sleep at 68.4. So I was already low 3 weeks out. And most people don't get to that weight a week before. So then they do their dehydration. They do quite a lot. So I was fine. 3 weeks out. And coming down, I think by fight week, I would be at like 64, 65.
Okay. That day you found out you would have an opponent switch and you would be fighting at lightweight instead of bantamweight. Did you eat a ton of food that day when you found out?
No, because my stomach wasn't that stretched out. If I had tried to eat a lot of food, I would end up being sick. So I had to, I had to eat small portions, but a lot, because I was just craving a lot of stuff. I have a sweet tooth, man.
Right.
I'm addicted to chocolate. Even on my fight week, I eat chocolate.
That's funny.
I can't stop eating chocolate.
I was just gonna say, if you hire a nutritionist to possibly go down to flyweight, I'm not sure they'll like that.
They won't like that, but they'll become an opponent. They'll have to.
That's funny. How were you able to adjust to this opponent switch approximately 3 weeks out? Not a ton of time to prepare for a different style. How different is your opponent now than your original opponent? Was it tough to adjust at all?
It wasn't tough, because this guy here, we train everything at Nova Forza. We have wrestling classes, we have judo classes, we have MMA itself, we have jiu-jitsu. It's a very strong guy in our gym. We have Thai. So we always doing everything, working on every aspect of the game. We were gonna fight a a jiu-jitsu guy, so I'm 100% sure he was going to come and try to take me down. So we were working on my wrestling and making sure that I chose where to go. We're not let him.
Go ahead.
And this guy now, he's more of a stand-up guy, which is where I like. So it wasn't tough to adjust. And me and this Camilo guy, the one that was going to fight now, we are going to fight in November. So I agreed to fight in November when he's ready and fit to fight.
Okay, so this guy now is a stand-up guy. Are you anticipating a bit of a slugfest?
Yes, but I doubt he'll catch me with anything. It'll be more me working and breaking him down and then finish him. I see late first round or early second round because he's a one-shot guy and I'm a combination guy, and he is flat-footed. He's tough and he can take a punch and he can give a punch as well. So obviously, I don't want to be playing around with him, but I think he's boring and I think he's gonna get caught.
Now I know it's sometimes tough to get fights on the local circuit, especially after what you went through at the end of last year. Is it nice to have two fights booked at the same time, just because even if one gets canceled, you still have one to look forward to?
Yeah, it's great because I know I've already have plans. Obviously, I'm not looking past this guy, but I already know what's gonna happen next. I know I need to take a time off quick after this fight, so a week off the gym. I'll force myself to, because last time on my last few semi-pro fights, I was fighting almost every month because I've had a fight at Fusion and then I fought at Rock and then I fought at Fusion again, 3 fights in 4 months, and it was quite a lot. There was times I was just exhausted. So break time.
Yeah, I guess this break, so to speak, is a bit nice. You've only had one fight this year.
Yeah. So but I still went through a fight camp before that, so it wasn't really a great break. Yeah, and so I'll have like a week. Depends on how the fight goes. If because our body still get a lot of damage, even if we win. So I'm not sure how I'll be after the fight. So, but maybe a week, 2 weeks, and then I'll jump straight back into fight camp to get ready for this guy, because Camilo Pekov is a tough opponent, and I need to be on point to fight him.
Right. I don't really know what the title scene is like for like title belts for Fusion FC. How far would you be from a title shot for the bantamweight division with the win? I mean, you're fighting at lightweight, so I don't imagine this would be a huge win and would get you a bantamweight title shot. But how far would you be away from getting any title shot?
I have a big mouth, man. I like to talk a lot, and I'll be on their ass. I'll be on their cases, and I'll be asking for it. This fight, I'll make a statement, and comes November, I'll make another statement, and I don't see a lot of competition around, so I don't see why they won't give me a title. Obviously, I'm young. I'm starting out now. Getting a belt means I have to face the tougher competition there is. So depends on how these two fight goes. If they see that I'm ready, and if I feel like I'm ready, I'll be asking for it, and hopefully I'll get it.
Interesting. Now let's talk about this matchup. Thomas Boza, of course, you already mentioned he's a striker, similar to you. Should be a fun fight. How do you think you match up against him? Have you watched any tape on him?
The only tape I've watched of him is in 2003, and he had over then he moved well, but his opponents wasn't that great, so I'm not really sure how he's like. And now at 70, I'm 100% sure he won't move like he moved before. And so yeah, I'm going in almost blind. I've seen old tapes of him, and for me and my team, it was enough to see what he's like. I don't believe he has any jiu-jitsu. I don't believe he has any wrestling, but I don't really plan on taking him to the ground. But I'm not gonna stay there if I'm losing a stand-up fight and not take the guy down because my ego is too big. I will take him down if it comes to that, and I will submit him, tap him out, or knock him out on the ground. So I'm there to win. I'm not there to look good or to show off.
It sounds like you think you can win this basically anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere. But like I said, he's a tough guy, and he's He came for a punch too, and it's MMA, man. I've seen a lot of fights where the underdog comes out and knocks out the champ. Like you've seen Michael Bisping knock out Rockhold. Who saw that coming? No one.
Right.
Yeah. So anything can happen. I'm not feathering my nest. I'm just saying that it can happen.
For sure. On your topology page, it says your nickname is the Barbarian. Is this a new thing?
Yeah, it is.
Talk about how do you get this new nickname?
I think it's the way of training and those fights ahead. And a friend came to me and Jack Sutton, he came to me and he's like, "Oh, you should have Barbarian as a nickname." And I gave it thought. I was like, I don't know. I'll think about it. And then some other guy who didn't even hear him saying came to me and said the same thing. "Oh, your name should be the Barbarian. It suits you." And another guy came to me and said the same. I was like, you know what? I like it. Let's do it. So that's how it became my nickname.
Has anyone said you're stealing Tim Bosch's nickname?
Nah, he's gone.
Why do you think he's gone?
Didn't he retire? I think he retired, didn't he?
No, he did just fight. Remember, he fought last month.
Oh yeah. Oh, all right. But yeah, he's not at his peak. He'll be gone soon. By the time I'll make it to where the cameras are rolling, he won't be remembered anymore, and I'll take the name. I'll make sure he's proud.
Right.
Yeah. I'm carrying it on. I'm not stealing it. I'll carry on.
This nickname, how new is it? Like time frame? Were you announced as the Barbarian in your fight against John Spencer, or
I should have been, but the guy, I don't know why he didn't. Oh. But I spoke to him afterwards. I was like, what happened to the nickname?
Oh, you did. So what did you say?
I was like, oh, what happened to the nickname? You forgot to say it, and he said he had, I don't even know what he said. I was like in the zone. I was still happy, excited.
Were you mostly joking, or were you actually a bit not angry, but just a little disappointed?
You know what? It was mostly joking, but this time if they don't say it again, then I'll get angry because now I'm more used to it. Like when on that fight, like it was just a few weeks before that, I wasn't even used to it. But now everything I do, I put that name up, and every time someone says my name, they say it like that. So now I'm used to it. If they don't say it, now it gets a bit,
Next time we do an interview, I will definitely announce you as the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're not the biggest fan of UFC featherweight champion Conor McGregor. What did you think about his win over Nate Diaz last month?
Man, I'll give it to Nate. I think Nate won that fight. But
you're a bit biased because you definitely don't like McGregor.
Yeah, I don't like McGregor, man. I think like he won the fight. Hats off to him, but I feel like he lost a few fans by running away the way he did after talking the way he did. So it's like, I don't know. I just don't like the guy. So everything he does, if he breathes near me, I'll say, "Oh my God, that was a bad breath."
Do you think they booked the rematch right
away? If they will.
Yes. Do you think they will?
Oh nah. They can't have their boy losing like that.
Are they going to go with McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez, perhaps? Do you think that's what's going to happen? Yeah,
I think that's what's going to happen. They don't want McGregor to lose, so they won't. If McGregor is to lose, they want it to be like to Eddie Alvarez, or they can't have him lose to Aldo or to Diaz one more time.
Yeah,
that can't happen.
All right, Diego. Last question: how do you defeat Tomas Boza? Now I know you mentioned you could take him down, but you're planning to trade with him. How do you think you beat Tomas Boza on September 10th?
Oh, I see myself coming in. I'm gonna hurt his leg bad. I'll use a lot of my low kicks, and I'll finish him with a left hook. That's my strongest punch, and I'm sure I'm gonna learn that. I'll be working a lot on it. So yeah, a left hook to the chin. He's gonna go down.
Awesome. That is MMA lightweight fighter Diego the Barbarian Barbosa. He fights Tomas Boza in the coming event of Fusion FC 21 coming up very soon on September 10th. Diego, thank you very much for taking time as always. Before we let you go, just let my audience know where they can find you on social media, and if there's anyone you'd like to thank, you give a shout out to. Now's your time.
Yep. You can find me on Twitter, @BJJGuy, on Instagram, D Barbosa. You can watch my fight live on MMATV.co.uk via pay-per-view. You can also keep an eye on Aaron Blackwell. He's going to be the new Bama champion. You can keep an eye on Luke Kiriakidis. There's a guy that always complained I'll never give him a shout out. His name is Rob Radcliffe, so there you go. And watch out for Nova Forza. We're coming in strong. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ricardo da Silva. He's a world-class coach. Fio Fiodulo, and my entire team, my entire family, and my entire supporters. And the biggest thank you goes to you, Nick, for always giving me the opportunity to be here on your show. And I hope we have more of these encounters.